Welcome to another episode, everyone. Predators in prison. Well, they have improved their tactics. These rapists, that's what they are. In simple terms, when you break it down, just because they're doing it to a man makes them no different. And it makes it no different if they were doing it to a woman. So these people are predators, and it's been justified in prison for many years for many different reasons. But the predators of today in prison, these booty bandits, these grown men who want your cheeks, they have different ways of going about it now. So one has to be aware and careful. I'm just going to break a couple of the ways down for you so that if your loved one is in there or you happen to wander inside of there because you're not paying attention to the gems that I'm trying to give you, and you want to go it alone and do it your way and find yourself in there, well, you'll know how to defend yourself against these very determined and skilled hunters. Manipulation is the key nowadays. Back in the day, as we all know, many of us know, it was brute force. They used brutal tactics to clap your butt cheeks straight up. They would enter your cell with weapons, 2 or 3 of them, big old knives, and tell you, pull your pants down and bend your ass over, or else gonna run this thing up in you. Literally. And many men, well, they put their pants down and bent over in fear of the alternative, which was being attacked by 3 murderous men who had deadly intentions and nothing to lose and had been in prison for decades. Many youngsters coming through them walls were introduced to prison in that way, not knowing any better. But now, the thought process generally has changed there in prison as it relates to these assaults. People no longer sanction them or subscribe to them. Now it's sort of taboo. People don't agree with it. And again, when men were doing this to other men behind the walls in the county jail and in prison, oftentimes they would justify, depending on your crime, if you were in there for a crime against a woman or something having to do with assault, then this was their justification. I want him to feel the same way that his victim felt, the same way that you abused that child and abused that woman. We're about to run this foreign object up in you to humiliate you. It's not about gratification for us. We're not getting any sexual gratification out of it. It's just to humiliate you and make you feel what your victims felt. And people sort of went along with that because they agreed, yeah, fuck him. He ain't here for that. Yeah, brutalize him. Stick a broomstick up in him. We don't care. And everyone would turn a blind eye even if they did not participate. They understood why this person was being abused in this way. But now with the Me Too movement and just the general public and even the general public in prison, their mindsets changing in this country, as far as how they view certain crimes and view certain acts. And now in prison, you still have some predators, but they are more low key. They no longer use brute force because now it's more frowned upon. If you're in there for a despicable crime, then you're liable to still get some very diabolical treatment. But if not, if you were a snitch or what have you, them doing that to you is no longer justified or agreed upon. So now that these predators know this, that people's mindsets have changed, and now they look at you and say, you're a homosexual if you do that. Nothing wrong with being a homosexual, but that's what you are. Let's call it what it is. If you do that, this is how people think now. And some people thought this way back in the days, but I'm saying it is more popular now. It is more prevalent with people believing that this is predatory behavior and it's sick behavior. Whether you feel like it's justified or not, this is the consensus these days. So with these predators knowing that it's not the same, that they can no longer enter your cell with a knife and take your manhood, they have improvised. They have come up with new tactics. They now manipulate you and try to groom you out of your manhood. It's no longer brute force, give it here. These people, back in those days, the lifers, life really meant life. You had life in prison, you was doing life. But now they're letting even lifers go home. People who have been in prison for 25, 30, and 40 years are coming home. They've been coming home for the last few years. So everyone has a shot. So these dudes are no longer entering your cell with knives and catching a great charge, assault with a deadly weapon charge and all this, and they have action they're coming home soon. Or at some point, been in there 30 years and now they got 2 years before they make it out. So they're not going to do that now. Now they're going to manipulate you, or at least attempt to, out of your manhood. Some ways that they do this is they would maybe send you a letter under your door. This letter is to groom you. The letter says, now bear in mind, for the most part, I'm referring to men, young men, who this is their first time in prison. And they don't really know a lot about the politics and how to comport themselves here in prison. I mean, they know what's right and what's wrong. They know that this shit ain't right. But they don't necessarily know how to respond to these sort of advances because he's 22 years old. And the dude that's trying to manipulate him is 54 years old, 55, and has been in there before this young man was born. So that's what this video is for. If you go to prison and you get a letter under your door from someone, and the letter says, hey, welcome to the yard. You just got here. This is how things go in this yard. Just hook up with me. Just talk to me when you come out the cell, and I'll protect you. I'll make sure everything is straight. Because now these predators, these manipulators, they try to get next to you. They still use fear tactics, just not brute force. The threat of fear is always there. If you do not conform to this, then this could happen to you. But it's not them threatening you directly. It's them saying, for example, you need protection here on the yard. I'm going to protect you, but my protection is not free. This is what I want for my protection. I don't want your soups and your tuna. I want that other thing. You say, no, you don't need any protection. If you get into some sort of debt and you cannot pay, one of these predators will step in and say, I'll pay the debt for you, because if I do not pay the debt, you're about to go down. These dudes are about to bust your head wide open. You're out of here. So I'll pay the debt for you, man. I don't want to see that happen to you. I don't want to see you get your head split open. You too must say no to this, because nothing in life is free. And if the man is offering to pay your debt, oftentimes he has an ulterior motive. His motive is to get next to you. Other tactics. Now they'll make certain comments towards you. They're just testing the water. They see you on the yard working out. You might come over there, say, "Oh, damn, man, you big," grabbing on your chest. Now, if you know what's going on. You know this the way he just grabbed you made you feel uncomfortable. He sort of caressed you. He grabbed, "Oh, damn, man, you looking big, boy, yeah," and grab your shit like that. You just get your hands up. Don't ever touch me again. You either bust his head right then and there, or you let him know not to ever do that again. Because he's trying you. He's trying to see how far he can go. Now your homie come up to you. My homies used to do that. Well, boy, your ass getting up there. These some killers. These some gangsters, bro. There wasn't no soft shit involved in this. But we on the yard busting down, the OG homie come up to you. Yeah, boy, that's different. I'm talking about these dudes that you don't know. He has sinister intentions. He's already had sinister machinations. His intent is sexual and deadly. All in one. You just don't know it yet. So he comes up to you and he's groping you and feeling on you. Yeah, perhaps he's testing the waters. You just have to be mindful of everything and of every situation and of every tactic there in prison. Because now they're employing different tactics, bro. Again, they're not coming at you saying, "Lay down," and choking you out and taking it with a knife to your neck. That's what they used to do. They're no longer doing that. But they're still coming after you. They're just doing it in different ways. This is not everyone. This is not on every yard. Again, these dudes are low key now. You will never know. On the yard, it's just straight members, bro. It's straight gangsters out there. And if you're doing this, if you're participating, you are involved in these shenanigans, you're not going to be looked upon as a gangster, as a man. So no one is upfront with this. No one is overtly playing these games with men. It's covert. It's low key. And they're trying to manipulate youngsters, some of them, on some yards in different ways. So I'm just letting you know, if you happen to hit a penitentiary yard, whichever one it is, and an older person, or even someone who's not that much older than you, seems to have taken a liking to you, wants to always offer you advice, wants to send you a kite under your door about this and that, ever makes any sort of sexual remark, even though he may say he's just joking, or he may say it in a joking way. And boy, your legs getting big, boy, your legs getting thick, boy, your legs getting thick. That's cause to open him up like a fish. Don't talk to me like that. Don't play with me like that, bro. I'm gonna split your shit open. That ain't nobody ever played with me like that. I'm gonna bash your shit in immediately. And that's what you have to do. If anyone tries to, now, I don't want to get a wrong message. You have some OGs, 99% of them, that when you hit the yard, they're going to try to lace you and tell you this is what it is, especially if you've never been in prison. That's really their job. You don't know. You just got there. You've never been there. So they've been there for 30 years. It's their job to let you know how prison works. This is what's going on this yard and that yard. This is what's up with this police, what have you. To lace you up about the goings on the yard. And most of the time, the individual who's doing this, he does not have an ulterior motive. He is not gay. He does not wants your cheeks. He just wants to lace you up. It's his job as a respected and respectable OG to make sure you have the knowledge of how to survive on this prison yard. So I don't want you to think that anyone that comes up to you is trying to manipulate you or groom you in that way. No, of course not. Some of these dudes, like I said, some homies walk up to you, touch you, whatever. It has nothing to do. These dudes are not gay. But you should have a feel for the difference. And you should know when someone is making inappropriate comments in a letter, personally, verbally to your face, or whatever, you should know if this person is trying to manipulate you or not. And if you have questions about whether or not this person is trying to manipulate you, then the answer is yes. If you even have to question it, it's like I be seeing women sometimes these days, and they look pretty, and like my boy even told me the other day, but I don't know if that's a man or a woman. That motherfucker pretty, but I don't know if that's a man. I can't tell. Something seems off. It's a no for me. If you gotta ask that question, if you even have to question, it's a no for me. Fuck that. You might not be. You might be a woman. But if I don't know that for sure, if I gotta question that, something telling me to question it, yeah, okay, I'm gonna answer the question. It's a no for me. That's the answer. No, I'm good. Give a damn how good you look. I don't even know what you are. So if you have to question what this letter means, what that comment meant that this individual just gave me. Why is this person trying to pay off my debt? Telling me, just give me back later, bro. Ain't nothing for free. Now, again, you have some strong OGs who live by a certain protocol. And they will pay off your debt. You get into trouble. If you in hot water over something, they got the money. They don't want you to get in any situation. They're going to make sure you're all right. Know the difference between that and someone who's trying to manipulate you. I'm going to bring you a story and put it to focus exactly what I'm talking about. How someone was manipulated, how someone used these very tactics to manipulate a youngster, bro. Now, it didn't end well for that individual, but he got to the youngster. Because these dudes are strong verbally. They're strong communicators. They're strong manipulators. And you may say, man, I'm a man. Ain't nobody finna ever talk me, groom me out of my stuff. And that's true for most of us, but not for all. You'll be surprised at what you'll succumb to and go for through manipulation. Constant, incessant manipulation. You're bombarded with manipulation, with someone grooming you. Sometimes these dudes end up succumbing to the treachery. I'm going to bring that into focus coming up. In closing, no manipulation. You nip it in the bud. Someone comes at you, I'm not for violence, but I am for self-defense. And if someone comes at you in hopes of grooming you, you're going to have to get violent. You're going to have to make sure they understand not to ever do that again. You have to nip it in the bud. You have to send a message immediately. What you do not want to do is entertain the manipulation in any way. You want to stop it immediately. You don't want to respond with a letter. You want to say, man, what did you mean by that? Or, oh, man, you crazy, man. Or, but you think he up to something. Oh, no. You stop that shit immediately. Don't joke with him. Don't play with him. Let him know you dead serious. Don't you ever come at me like that again, boy, ever. You got to turn up immediately. So beware of the ways of the new predator. There behind the walls. They have new manipulation tactics Do not fall for them. Do not succumb. This is not everyone, but this is some. And again, I'm going to bring it into focus exactly what I'm talking about. The story is crazy. And to let me know the tactics that these dudes are using now. And that some people actually fall for these tactics. No longer guerrilla tactics. They're in their soft guy era. They have manipulation tactics. Stay free, people.